Welcome back to another episode of What's Cooking. I'm your host, Patricia Kutsia, and today I'm super excited to say I'm not going to fangirl, but I have someone in the kitchen with me that is so talented, such a beautiful soul, and I cannot wait to get to know her and see what she has cooking for us. But before we get into that, we just like to thank Kitchen 82 for hosting us, as well as Coca-Cola and Metro Namibia for sponsoring this episode.
Grab your passport, fasten your seatbelts, and get ready for a new season of Namibia Beyond Borders. Namibia Beyond Borders is a show where Namibians from all over the world get the opportunity to tell us about their new life abroad and why they moved. The guest gives fun facts and shares their story about the country, from the USA all the way to the Netherlands, and even Belgium and South Africa. This season is sure to hold many interesting stories. But that's not all. Come along with the MyZone team during Travel With Me, where we take you along an adventure to different towns and cities. But that's not all. Stay tuned for traveling tips, where the MyZone team gives helpful tips to remember when you are planning your next trip. Namibia Beyond Borders, every Monday on NTV at 8:30 in the evening.
And we're back, and as promised, I promised I won't fangirl, but we have someone really special in the kitchen today. We have the one and only Azaria with us, but I'm not going to say too much because I want her to introduce herself the way she wants to be introduced. So everyone, welcome in the kitchen with me, the beautiful and talented Miss Azaria.
Hi, thank you so much for having me.
I'm so happy to have you in the kitchen, and I'm super excited to make some creamy pasta chicken with you.
I am too. Yeah.
But before we get into that, why don't you just introduce yourself to everybody so they can just know a little bit more about who you are?
Okay. Hi everyone, my name is Azaria Pisagi. I'm an artist, brand promoter, and yeah, that's what I do. I make music.
Okay, you seem like you're a very shy person.
I am.
But luckily we're cooking while we're talking, and I've heard that while you cook, you kind of loosen up a bit and then the nerves calm down. So we'll get the flow of this. Now, Azaria, I have to say it. Like, I have one song that kind of just, when I listen to it and I think of you, and that song pops up immediately. I think you know what song it is.
I know what it
Everyone
is.
knows the song. If you don't know the song, it's this. I like to believe it's a song that kind of nudged you more into the space.
Yes, it did.
Because that's when everyone got to know who you were, and I think that's also where your flow really started. Because after that song was released, I think you just came left and right with music, and you were just all over the place.
Yeah, it's true.
And today you're opening stages, you're performing more regularly in Windhoek especially, but you're originally from Walfish Bay, if I'm not mistaken.
I'm from Okanya, and then I moved to Walvis for some time. Yeah, so.
Okay, do you miss the home space?
I do, but it's okay. I'm fine here.
You're getting used to the vibe here and everything going on. Now, for those who do not know the song that I am talking about, Azaria is not just any kind of artist. You know, it's not your usual I'm going to sing a ballad for you artist. Mm-hmm. You're more of a rapper, singer, and I love it when you start rapping in Afrikaans, because this song is like, it's a Namlish Afrikaans, but it's more Afrikaans.
Yeah, I do.
You know, and its name is Jy het my geleer, of course. It's the song that just pops up, and it's a nice song to sing along to in the car. Like, I always put it like, it's loud, and it's just me in the car like, Jy het my geleer. So maybe later, if Azaria is more comfortable, she can sing us like a verse.
Maybe.
Just maybe. We'll see later on how it feels. But let's not waste too much time because I'm getting a little hungry here. Let's start chopping.
Okay.
As our viewers know, you are our main chef today. This is your recipe. You're the boss. I'm just here to help you. I'm just here to chop up what you need me chopping.
Alright.
And then we get to talk a little bit more. So why don't we dig into it? I see you got the mushrooms. I'll try not to tear up as I do this part.
Alright, let's go.
So Zara, I have to ask, as an artist myself, I know that we all draw our inspiration from somewhere. This music doesn't just come to you from nowhere. Something has to inspire you. For you, what's that one thing that just drives you when it comes to your music?
I would honestly say it would be my life experiences.
Okay.
Because if you really do listen to my songs and the lyrics, I'm such a deep person, so I always write things that like I can relate to, or like personal experiences that I've had in my life. So I think that is what inspires me or what motivates my music.
Okay, so it's safe to say that if anyone wants to get to know who you are, then
They
your
should
music
listen
is
to my music,
is
yeah.
the gateway to knowing who Azaria really is.
Yes, that's true.
Okay, that's beautiful. They do say that you need to write what you know.
Yeah.
So it makes sense that your inspiration would come from personal experience. Now, from all of the music that you have released, what was the song that was the most difficult to just let the world listen to? Like, I know watch a lot of documentaries,
Yeah.
and there are artists who write music and then the music just stay with them because
Yeah,
they're
yeah.
waiting for the right moment or time to release it.
I would definitely say, I wouldn't say it was hard for me to release it or let the world hear it, but it was like, it made me look very vulnerable, you know, and I would say it's Jy het my geleer because it's a song that's very personal, and everything that I'm singing about is something that I've experienced. So I wouldn't say it was hard for me for the world to hear it, but I was just scared that it would make me look too vulnerable,
Yeah.
and people would get to see a side of me that I don't actually want them to see.
Well, that's what makes your music specifically very
Yeah.
beautiful, is the fact that they can see who you are through your music.
Yeah.
That's great. Now, we all know that the beginning stages of performing live is never easy. Like, your nerves are all over the place. The crowd, usually, it's just... Can you just tell us more about the first time you had to perform your own music live? Like, what was that experience like?
Yo, you guys won't believe when I tell you. I have stage fright. Oh, I had stage fright, but I'm working on it.
Yeah.
So, when I first recorded my album, the Lost album, it was, I think it was a year before COVID. So, when we released, COVID came and so I couldn't perform. Last year was actually the year that I actually started performing my own songs for the first time on stage. Yeah, and it was kind of hard for me to perform because I'm not used to like big crowds and stuff. So I had stage fright and I would be so shy on stage. Maybe I would just stand in one position and then I would sing, or I would just, the crowd would get to me and I would just want to get off the stage. But luckily my manager, he helped me a lot with, we started doing like small stuff like karaoke, you know, just to
Just to calm
familiarize
yourself down
myself.
a
Yeah.
bit, yeah.
And it actually helped a lot, and I'm actually a lot better now today, I
Yeah,
would
they
say.
do say practice makes perfect. You're not going to get it the first time
Yeah.
around. But watching your performances as of late, you seem very more comfortable. You own the stage more. You can see that
Yeah.
now you're becoming a performer, not just an artist, but an entertainer and a performer.
Yeah.
And it's quite beautiful to see. Now, I'm assuming with that being said, it's now more of an exciting thing when you get a
It
gig
is.
instead of a nerve-wracking
It
thing.
It is.
Yeah, but they say those nerves never truly go away.
They
though.
don't go away. But it's like when you get, you'll definitely be nervous before you get on stage, especially when there's a lot of people. But for me, once I'm on that stage, nothing else matters.
Yeah, it's just
It's
you,
just
your
me,
music,
yes.
and the crowd.
And it
It's
makes
lovely.
everything so much easier.
How does it feel when you start singing and the crowd just knows all the words and they just sing along with you? It must be such an immaculate feeling.
Sometimes I think I have to stop myself from like crying because who knew like a small girl like me would have such an impact on so many people,
Yeah.
or that my lyrics would resonate with so many people at once. Like, it's honestly so heartwarming.
I can only imagine. That is the way you describe it is truly beautiful. But do not go anywhere. We're going to take a short break and then me and Azaria will be back to get to know a little bit more about her as an artist in Namibia and the way forward for her music career. a stage where we get to mix everything together and bring this dish to a point where we can actually eat it. Because that's my favorite part, is we get to eat the food afterwards. So Azaria, why don't you go ahead? I'll switch this on for you, and you can start putting in your oil, and we can start making this creamy pasta chicken. Right. So while she's busy here, in the beginning, we said if you feel comfortable, you can sing us a few verses of Yet My Geleer.
You guys are putting me on the spot.
Just so that people know, it's actually her that sings, guys. I've heard her sing in person before. It's like, it's not auto-tune.
You heard me sing in person?
I heard you hum, like slightly. And I was like, okay, cool. It's not auto-tuned.
Yeah.
It's fine.
No,
it's not
I don't
auto-tuned.
even use auto-tune like that.
Good.
Yeah.
So, do you mind just like the first few verses of Yet My Geleer? I mean, I know everyone is dying to hear it.
Oh my goodness. Okay.
Woo. Okay, deep breaths, no pressure.
Okay. Ja, het my geleer om my hart minder te gebruik, ja. En ek het nooit geweet vir liefde sal ek 'n prys moet betaal. Maar ek sal nooit aan my past, my future beskryf nie. Ek gaan nie wat jy gedoen het, jy in jou gebruik nie. Want ek weet ook dat jy nie so was altyd nie. En jy was lief vir my, al was het net vir 'n tydjie.
It felt like I was listening to the recorded version of the song, honestly. Thank you for blessing our What's Cooking family with your beautiful voice.
It's a pleasure.
Oh, okay, our oil is nice and hot.
Apparently,
I think we
one
can
of
heat it up
the previous
like for us.
some
What goes in first?
Okay, so we're gonna start with the onions.
So then I'm assuming after that
Yes.
mushrooms.
Yes.
I just love that sound when you cook, man.
No.
The sizzling. Just bring it down a bit so we don't burn. So Azaria, we know that as you're growing as an artist, there's a lot of opportunities that will come your way. A lot of people are recognizing you. Is there anything new that's happening within your creative profile that you want to share with us? Anything that's upcoming that you're willing to share? Say what? Oh. Okay. It doesn't make a difference. Did it make a difference?
Oh, okay.
So let me just re-ask the question. Okay. So Zaria, is there anything new happening or something upcoming that you're excited about within your creative space?
So yeah, I feel like, okay, everyone knows that I started with like hip hop, R&B, Afrikaans, like short video
Yeah.
clips would be on Facebook and stuff. And then when I initially started recording, I started with Amapiano. And
Yeah.
I got so locked in with it that I didn't want to, or not want to, but I didn't try out any
Yeah.
other genres. So now I decided that like I dropped the EP, I think it was a month ago, and that was my last Amapiano for now. Like from me personally, there won't be an Amapiano song at least this year.
Okay.
Yeah. So I'm trying now to go into new directions and like try out new genres. And I've been working on my Afropop.
Okay.
Afropop. Afropop EP. It's just like 3 or 4 songs, just to like you see. And I'm still like trying to find my voice to see like what I really do for
Yeah.
it. Yeah.
Okay, if you ever want to try out country, hit me up. I can assist in that regard. So that's pretty cool. Expanding what you're
Yeah.
used to, getting to know other genres. Because as you perform, you're gonna go into different audiences.
Yeah.
Some audiences might appreciate a mixture of Amapiano and Afropop.
It
or
is.
just Afro pop. So I'm excited to hear those 3 or 4 songs that are gonna come up with that EP. I recently saw that you had a really, really awesome photo shoot that took place. It was all over your Instagram.
Yeah.
And I really liked that photo shoot. What was it about? What was happening there? Anything specific that was being promoted?
Okay, so we had if you guys do know Luis Munana, I'm officially a brand ambassador for his clothing line Zuriel, and me and Esmo Nawe, as most people would know, we had a photo shoot for Zuriel just to put the brand out there more. And yeah, the photo shoot is coming out, and yeah, I'm so excited for you guys to see it.
Okay, for those of you who don't know who this person is she's referring to, it's the guy that was playing on Netflix, right?
Yes,
Yeah, what was
it's
the
him.
show's name again?
Young, rich, and African. Or
Yes, something
like
young,
that.
rich, and African. That was the
Yeah.
Namibian that we all saw on Netflix doing the most, of course. He's also the owner or the organizer or main person when it comes to the MTC Fashion Week,
Yes, he
right?
is.
So you've probably seen his face there a couple of times. That is big news. That's pretty awesome. I cannot wait to see the final results of that photo
I'm
shoot.
so
'cause of course,
excited.
You only posted like cute little snippets before the original,
Yeah.
like the final touches were being made. Oh, that's pretty cool. Is it almost time for the mushrooms?
Yes, I
I'm not a
think
big fan of mushrooms, but ever since I started this show, I'm slowly but surely getting there. Not there yet, but I'm getting there.
Okay, I think
You
you
throw
can.
them in?
Yeah.
There we go. So is this a dish that you make on a regular basis?
It's honestly my favorite. I love cheesy pastas. Anything that has cheese and pasta in it, you can count me in.
So you could have
Yeah.
just made mac and cheese, you'd be happy as
I
well.
would be so happy.
So I want to know a little bit more about Azaria before, the performances, before the EPs dropping, before all of that happening. But before we dive into this, I think it's time for me and Azaria just to take a quick water break. But don't go anywhere. We'll be right back, and hopefully you'll get to see the final touches of this dish, and we get to know a little bit more about the Azaria we know today. So we have come to my favorite part of the show, and that's when we get to eat. We get to taste alles wat ons aangevang het in die kombuis.
Yeah.
We get to taste it now. And to see, can Azaria really cook, guys? Like, now we'll know if Azaria can cook or not. But before we went on a break, I did mention that I would like to know the Azaria that before she became the Azaria we know today, like how you grew up. You said you're from Okanya. Like, I want to know, is there siblings, is there loved ones that you know that you just, they keep you going? Like, can you tell us just a little bit more about that?
So I grew up in Okanya. It's my hometown. I'm born and raised, and I have. Okay, so I'm like a grandma and grandpa child.
Okay.
Yeah, I grew up with him. So I have two siblings from my mother's side, and I think 4 or 5 from my dad's side.
Okay.
Like, yeah, so I am the oldest for both of my parents.
Is the OC?
Yes, I'm the OC girl. Yeah, I grew up in a very, we didn't have much and all, but like the love was always there. So you would always be happy, and you would feel complete, man. We didn't need a lot. That's what I realized. I didn't need a lot that time, And I come from a very musical background, so my mom is a singer as well.
Okay.
I think that's why I get my voice from.
Probably.
Yeah. Yeah, so I would always like sing with my mom. I would sing in church, I would sing in school. I love school until like high school.
I think everyone loved school up until high school. Things got tricky in high school.
Yeah, no, really. Yeah, so I was such a bright student, if I have to say that myself. Always got diplomas, like from grade 1 to grade 7, I think. Yeah, so I love school. and I schooled at Kavya Von Maria's. It's been a while. There was this trend going around on Instagram where they say where it all started, and like you have to post your school.
Yes, and then you now.
Yeah, I mean it's been a lot and it's been rough but I love it all, man. Like I love the journey. I love everything that came with it because it made me the person I am today. Yeah.
And it allowed you to be the great songwriter that you are as well. So before we continue this conversation, I can smell this chicken. So if you don't mind, I'm going to dish us up some creamy chicken pasta. Let me just get you some more chicken and not just pasta. It's a perusoki. So Zaria, we know that there are many Namibians out there that just have this talent in them. I mean, I'm sure it wasn't easy for you to get from a girl singing in church to the girl performing live every second weekend, recording songs, being a brand ambassador and so on. Do you have any advice to give to that young boy or young girl just like sitting there with that talent, just waiting for an opportunity?
I would say like the things that I've learned so far, and I'm only like 2 years into this industry now, I would say is like always stay grounded and be very mindful about the people that you have around you, especially when you go into a career like mine, like music and stuff. You have to be very careful because your name has to speak for itself, and when it does speak, it has to be only good things because when you step into the room, they must already know, no, this is the person that did this and did what. So it should always be good because it will always determine your future. And like working with big brands and especially corporate people. Yeah, I would say stay grounded, be humble, and just be yourself. Like don't try to follow the trend that people are setting. I always tell my manager, like, if you actually want to make a stamp in this industry, you don't have to follow what all the others before you did.
Yeah.
It's time for you to start new things, go on your own wave, on your own time, and like don't stop doing. Even if you fail, do never stop because you never know how close you might be. And I always say that it's when you've worked so hard, all the tears, the blood, the sweat, all the failures, everything, when you've worked so hard for something and your breakthrough finally comes, it's so much sweeter to enjoy it. Just not like, okay, it happened overnight. I love the process. Trust the process always. Yeah.
Always trust the process.
Yeah.
Well, with such beautiful words, I think it's time for us to have a taste. But before
wait.
we do, I have been looking at this Coke all day. It is nice and cold, and I think we should pour us a glass.
It's good.
Ooh. Are you ready to taste the food though? Because
I'm nervous.
not to put the pressure on you, but the pressure is on you. Like I did say, this is going to determine whether Azaria can cook or not.
I'm excited. I'm nervous as well.
Here goes nothing. I'm gonna take a piece of chicken with the spaghetti. Guys, if I must say so myself, Azaria is a pretty decent cook. I like that. I like the creaminess of it.
I didn't do so bad after all.
Every time we have a guest and while we're cooking, everyone is just like, I really hope it tastes good. I hope it's not that bad. But this is really nice. But Azaria, before we eat off camera the rest of this, because everyone knows by now I always say this, I'm a very messy eater, but I like to do it off screen. We just want to know, obviously there were some growing pains to get where you are. Can you just tell us about some of the challenges that you have faced to get here and just how it's impacted you to become the woman and the artist that you are today?
I would say because the way I grew up was very independent because I had to do stuff for myself since I didn't grow up with my parents, and like my grandparents, they were old, so they couldn't actually be there for everything or do everything for me. So I had to learn like to do things for myself and never depend on anyone. So, and during those 2 years of actually now being in the industry, I've faced a lot of things, especially with labels, people trying to take advantage of you, um, a writer's block, because you get into this. For me, music was always just a way of me venting, and maybe someone out there can relate to what I feel, or maybe they have the same story similar to mine. So that was it for me. Music was my safe place. But when I got into this industry, I totally lost myself because there was so much pressure on you now, because it's now about the numbers, it's about the trends that are being set, you have to follow certain things, and it just wasn't fun anymore. And I had to put my foot down and say I cannot make this industry make me lose myself.
Exactly.
So I decided that no matter what, I'm just gonna still be me, and as well as follow some of the things that are there, but still bring
Remain
a little
true
of
to
me.
who
Yes,
you are.
that's all I would say. And writer's block, always don't let people tell you because I was told near jy skryf hier hartseer goed because I'm hartseer. It's not that's the thing that I wanna write about. And just write what you want, and the music you want to put out there, put it out there, and don't worry what anyone else has to say.
Those are some beautiful words. Now, Azaria, we do know that those of you who didn't know you before, I'm sure they know who you are now. And the fans that are watching and don't know where to get a hold of you, is there an Instagram, a TikTok, a Facebook, a LinkedIn, an email, or something that you can share with our viewers that they can reach out to you, whether it's to ask for advice or to book you? Who knows? Can you just share those details with us, please?
Okay, so I'm on Instagram, I'm on TikTok, I'm on Facebook as well. Basically, the names are the same as Azaria Official. And if you do want to book me or contact me in any way, on Instagram, all of the information that you need to contact me or to book me is there. So yeah, just go have a look there.
Well, thank you so much for cooking with me, Azaria, and with sharing your beautiful story with us. Here at What's Cooking, we wish you the best with your EP that will be dropping soon, a new genre, a new Azaria, or a new side to Azaria, as I should say. So all the best with that.
Thank you
can't
so
wait to
much.
hear the new music, and can't wait to eat the rest of this off screen, of course.
Yeah.
But as from me and Azaria and the What's Cooking team, that is a wrap for today. I do not know about you, but this was a fangirl's biggest moment, where I got to make some nice creamy chicken and pasta with the one and only Azaria. So I know you guys had fun. And for those of you who didn't know how to make the chicken creamy pasta, now you do. So that is all for What's Cooking today, but you know where to catch us every single Friday on DSTV channel 285, GoTV channel 25, and don't forget we're also on social media, so you can see all the clips and all the fun that me and Azaria had behind the scenes. So until next time, that's goodbye from me.